If you can't find an ancestor in the parish registers, then where else do you look? Maybe your ancestors didn't attend the parish church or didn't follow the established religion of the day, the Church of England. Maybe they worshipped at other meeting houses or chapels. Why is this, and where can you find these records? Well, if we go back to 1534 and Henry VIII, we know that Henry VIII dissolved the established church at the time with the Catholic religion. He wanted to divorce one of his wives, so he set up a new church in its place, the Church of England. He broke with the Pope, Rome, and the Catholic religion. Nonconformists did not follow the practices of the established Church of England. They were known as Quakers, Baptists, Methodists, or Mormons, or even Huguenots, who came over from France and Belgium, and many, many more religions. Jews, for family history purposes at least, are considered as a nonconformist religion, although the Jewish religion isn't Christian. It wasn't until 1650 that Jews started to return to England, having been expelled around 1290. By 1800, there were over 30,000 Jews in England. Nonconformists had always made up a small part of the population due to the persecution they faced. However, by the 1851 UK census, 80% of the Welsh considered themselves to be nonconformist. Catholics grew in strength in northern England, and Presbyterians became the established church in Scotland by 1690. The nonconformist movement had started with the restoration of Charles II following Cromwell and his demise. In 1689, an Act of Toleration allowed nonconformist religions to meet using their own meeting houses or chapels. They were even allowed their own burial grounds. Many nonconformist families would have still used the parish church. Indeed, the state didn't recognise baptism or marriage in meeting houses or chapels for nonconformist religions. And following Hardwicke's Marriage Act in 1753, the need to use parish churches became even more important. See a previous video I've produced on Hardwicke's Marriage Act of 1753. They may also have buried their dead within the parish churchyard, particularly if they didn't have their own burial grounds. In looking for Baptists, remember that they did not believe in infant baptism, so you may be looking for adult baptism records in the parish registers. Quakers didn't believe in baptism at all, so they won't. For those nonconformists who don't appear in the parish records, we need to look elsewhere. Some nonconformist religions kept very good records, others didn't. The Quakers and the Methodists, particularly from 1779, kept very good records. Remember that the Catholics were still highly persecuted well into the 18th century, and it's probably not until 1790 that they start to record their ceremonies because of the fear of persecution. However, before this date, because of that persecution, they may appear in other types of records. For example, tax records or criminal records, because they were heavily fined or heavily taxed as a result of their religion. Of course, from 1837 we have civil registration, and you can pick up nonconformist and Jewish ancestors in the birth, marriage and death records. You can also pick them up in the census from 1841. For records before 1837, then contact your county record office, where they may hold nonconformist registers, and your local family history society or the family history society near to the county record office or the county record office itself may have produced indexes to these nonconformist registers. I struggled to find an ancestor in Ely around the 1840s, And it wasn't until I came out of the parish records and looked at the non-conformist records did I find her baptism. So do look at this record set if your ancestors are missing from these records. Don't assume they don't appear, or they didn't attend the parish, or they weren't baptized or married or buried just because they're not in the parish records.